Okay, today we have an exciting episode on Good Morning Mama. We are talking about maintaining sanity while pregnant. So let's jump right in. Welcome to Good Morning Mama. We're two instant best friends with a combined 13 children, ages newborn to 16, talk about all things motherhood. Our new mom versus seasoned mom dynamic will leave you laughing, and our Christian values and positive outlooks will leave you inspired. So grab your coffee, pull up a chair, and enjoy our visit. Okay, well, today we're talking about a topic that Chelsea and I know way too well about sanity and pregnancy and how
Yeah.
to maintain it, how fragile it is, and
I
all
don't
the
know if I'm
things
doing
in
too
between.
good.
So, should we go ahead and tell the exciting news?
Yes, do it.
Okay, let's do it. So, you guys know that Chelsea is about to have a baby in a few weeks. So that is super exciting. But the other part of this is I am also pregnant. This is so crazy. Yay! I know. Baby number 10 is on the way.
Double
We're
digits.
I know, it's so crazy. We're so excited. And we'll talk about all things pregnancy probably for many, many, many months. But yeah, I wanted to announce that because on today's episode, we're talking about maintaining sanity while pregnant. And I feel like we're going to be talking about first trimester, second trimester, and then third trimester. And so I can personally right now relate to first trimester stuff, and Chelsea can relate to third trimester challenges.
Oh my goodness, can
So
I ever?
yes. So let's talk, let's just jump right in and talk about all these things. So for you, what is the hardest trimester as far as
Third.
physically and emotionally and all of it? And how do you maintain your sanity for each trimester?
So my third trimester is probably the hardest because I
Yeah.
have a hard time like catching my breath, breathing, sleeping, moving. And with two
Chasing the kids.
toddlers, like
Yeah.
I have to move. There is no bed rest, there is no relaxation or taking naps. At least with my first one, I was able to like lay down and go to sleep and like
And you
take
don't
a
realize
break.
how much of a luxury that is until afterwards. Like,
Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
you're
And
pregnant with
even
your first baby,
I even got
cherish it.
I know, please.
Take a nap.
My girlfriend's newly pregnant. I was like, take so many pictures of you and your body and like just take pictures, take all of the naps, take all of the classes that you can't like just enjoy your she's like, I'm taking Pilates. I'm like, do it until you can't, please.
Do it. Yeah.
Um, I even got spoiled when I was pregnant with Cashton because we got pregnant like 4 months when Kaya was 4 months
So
old.
crazy. Yeah.
So she didn't start walking until she was a year. So I had like most of my pregnancy was with like a baby that needed to be carried around or crawled. So it wasn't really like I wasn't chasing a toddler.
Plus, she
This
was a
is
girl and the
so,
firstborn.
yes. And so
Yeah.
this is so different. Like I could lock us into a room and like be okay laying in bed. She'd come and cuddle with me, or she'd get down, she'd play on the floor. Like it was so easy. This pregnancy, oofa, I have two
Yeah.
toddlers under two that are just active and
And now you
definitely
have a little
a different
boy, and
experience.
boys are rambunctious and just a total different animal.
Oh my
And
goodness.
middle children, second borns.
He is so strong. He is
Yeah.
so strong and strong-willed, but he was doing pull-ups on the freezer drawer the other day. I kid you not. I have video proof. We can provide it. He was literally pulling himself up. So it's just that where it's constantly up and down, up and down, up and down. And what people don't realize unless you've been like 9 months pregnant is that's extremely painful to be getting up and down and up and down. It's not just being on your feet and it's not just sitting down that hurts. It's like that movement, at least
Especially
for
at the end of
me.
the day, right? You find at the end of the day, you're just so exhausted. But at the beginning of the day, it's not as bad. I feel that way anyway
It's not
during
as
the third
bad. You're
trimester.
right. It's not as bad. And it
Yeah.
comes back to mindset and gratitude and like I'm so lucky. But it is very challenging for me because I don't sleep. And my 1 year old
Yeah.
doesn't sleep too well either. Like he'll wake up a couple times through the night and I haven't had the ability or the heart to sleep train him yet. So I know that's a whole nother podcast on what we do, but
Yeah.
so I get up and I address it. So I don't sleep. And then when you're this pregnant, you're like, I read that your body is preparing biologically to wake up for the newborn
No
baby
sleep.
anyways. So the pregnancy insomnia is insane.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and you're just up peeing all the time.
Yeah. Just
Um,
go to the bathroom.
yeah. Hey, how do you
Yeah.
stay super healthy through your pregnancies? Because I like
Well,
gain weight a lot and then I lose
I
it
feel like
very
some
quickly.
women just do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like some women just do gain more weight. I typically gain anywhere from 20 is the very low end, but anywhere from like 25 to 40 pounds is normal for me. And I don't really think about it too much because I'm not restrictive or anything. I mean, I'll eat whatever I feel like eating when I'm pregnant. I'm not, going to really watch what I eat too much, but I naturally want protein and I eat a lot of eggs when I'm pregnant. And um right now I'm eating a lot of tomatoes. I feel like I want a lot of tomatoes. So those are like healthy things.
Yeah.
But I also like ice cream and I'll just eat a lot of ice cream. And
Yeah.
so I do um you know, I think I just gained the amount of weight that I'm meant to gain, I guess. I don't really watch what I eat or do. It just kind of is. But I know some women, I have friends who gain way, way more than that or way, way less than that. I've even had
I
friends
gain
that lose weight during pregnancy. They're so sick.
really? I would
Yeah.
love to be one of, no, I'm just kidding. I gain like 40 to 60 pounds each pregnancy. It's
I
like,
think that's just how you are. I mean, yeah,
but it hurts my joints. That's
yeah,
the thing. Like, so towards
yeah,
the end of the pregnancy, like the extra weight too, it just hurts to
yes,
like move around,
yeah. Well, I
around.
mean, when you think about carrying, like if you had that much like bags of milk or bags of flour or jugs of milk and
Yeah.
that weighed 60 pounds, that would be a lot of weight to carry.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing when we're pregnant, you know?
Yeah.
But I always tell women like, don't like obsess over that and don't think about it. I mean, unless your provider is worried about it, don't worry about that because it always is alarming
Yes.
when you have to go to the doctor and you stand on the scale, especially at the end. You don't even want to look at it because it's like, what is this? It will go away, even though you have a baby and your baby is tiny. And the next day, you're still going to look pregnant and you're still going to weigh like the same minus 8 pounds,
Yeah.
um, it will go away. You will go back to your pre baby state. But I just try to not obsess over that while I'm pregnant because, on our topic of sanity, that is something that
A
can
thousand
make
percent.
you completely lose it during pregnancy is you don't recognize yourself like towards the end. You look at your ankles and your stomach and even your face. Like sometimes you just look at yourself and you're like, who is this? And you could just
Yeah.
cry and you know but
My
just don't
first
worry about it
pregnancy,
because
that
you
was
will go
really
back to your
hard. That was really hard. My
yeah.
husband didn't understand it either because he's like, "You're beautiful. I
Yeah.
love you." He's like, "You're carrying our baby." And he was being so sweet. But I was like, I don't care about any of that. I don't like what I'm
I
seeing in
feel
the mirror
yeah, I don't
and I
recognize
feel
myself. Yeah.
awful and I don't feel like myself.
Yeah.
So for me, my second and third pregnancy, I wanted to make sure that I always did at least one thing self-care a day to keep my sanity. So
That's
whether it
huge.
be a shower, whether it be always like trying to put on like tinted moisturizer just to feel like I put makeup on that day, or like getting dressed, just changing my clothes while I might change into a different pajamas because I'm so tired, I'm not going
Yes.
anywhere and it like nothing fits.
Yeah.
At least
Mhm.
changing into something clean and feeling like I had like that process through the day has really helped me feel a little bit like myself. Because you do
Yes,
feel
I
like,
agree. That was one of my notes that I wrote as well. Is make yourself get a little bit ready for the day. Not you don't have to put full makeup on, but do a little bit. Like you said, change your clothes. Do something to make yourself feel like fresh and pretty.
yeah.
It will go a
And
long
it's a
way
lot
for
of
your
work
sanity.
some days. It is. And that's okay
Yeah.
that it's a lot of
Yeah.
work. You don't need, because for a little bit there, I would feel really bad. Like, why is this so hard for me to get myself to like put myself first and take a shower. It used to not be like a hard thing. And for me, like finding the time with two toddlers, being exhausted, pregnant, feeling uncomfortable, sometimes I don't want to get into a hot shower. So I take a lukewarm shower.
Yeah.
And like,
well, and that's one thing I love about social media and our podcast is that it makes women feel not so isolated and alone because other women feel the same way. Because when you're going through it, you're like, I just feel so bleh and lazy. And why do you see women that are glowing and they're wearing gowns and they look amazing? Why do I feel so bleh? And then, you meet other women who have gone through pregnancy and they're like, that's normal. Like that is normal. The women wearing gowns, like I do that too during a maternity shoot. I'm guilty of it, but that's 1,000%. Not normal. That is the second in time.
Yes, that is but you not feel, but it's nice to feel pretty like that. And I think that it's good to do those things. And I tried to do like my maternity shoot looked different this pregnancy, a lot different. It happened at my 1-year-old's baptism, but that's okay. But it was like a family event and it wasn't just about me. Whereas when I was pregnant with Kaya, it was me in the gowns on the beach, like, like everything is great. That was such a hard day.
Yeah.
But I'm look back and I'm so glad I did it because I felt it made me feel pretty. It was something that I was able to do for myself and my family. And like Kaya looks back and it's like cute, So but I totally agree. Like I sent you a reel a couple days ago about like how people talk to you differently. Like when you get super ready and put together in like a cute flowy dress when you're pregnant, they're like, you're glowing, you look gorgeous, and you put some makeup on, versus when you like just throw your hair up in a bun and you feel grungy and you're like in your pajamas and they're like, oh, it's almost over. Like happens to me. You're almost there, Mom.
Exactly. You look like you could pop any second. And you're like, I have 2 more months.
Yeah, I know.
That is so true. Another thing I found that really helps, I know, it's so funny, it's so true, that helps with my sanity when I'm pregnant is to just tell myself that it's okay that the house is not completely spotless and clean and organized during the first trimester and even throughout the whole pregnancy. But for me, the first trimester, I'm a little sleepy. I'm thankful I don't get morning sickness, but I'm just tired. And then at the end, like you said, you have all this extra weight and you're out of breath and it takes a lot of effort to go up the stairs and to do the basic things. So to give yourself grace during the times of pregnancy when you are just really tired, that it's okay that your house is not as tidy and picked up as normal. And often you get that big like rush of energy right at the end when you're nesting and all of a sudden you have like superpower and you're cleaning everything and it gets done. So
it does get done.
But that's something that I found that helps me. Yes, absolutely. The other thing that I found is whenever I'm really pregnant, is to ask for help. This is something that is not natural for me. But if I ask for help, everybody is happy to help me. But they're not used to me asking for help because I'm one that just likes to just do it myself. And but if I ask my mom for help or ask my husband to help, my kids are always great about pitching in and doing their chores, but people that I don't normally ask for help from, if I do ask them for help, they know that I actually need it. And then on the flip side is accepting help too, especially like when the baby arrives or right at the end, there will be people, sometimes that just want to help you. And for me, I have said, no, I'm good. I don't need help, but to humble yourself and just say, sure, yes, if you would like to come over and help me with whatever, then absolutely, I would love that. Thank you. It's hard to do, but those things help with your sanity if you have those people. Yeah.
And I think,
and also giving yourself grace. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, just giving yourself also the grace to take a break and take a nap, because that's something that I'm also not good about doing, is looking at rest as healthy and good. Sometimes I look at rest for myself anyway is, oh, I'm being lazy, or gosh, I'm being such a slacker today. But that's not true. Like rest is a good thing. Naps are okay, especially when you are growing a human inside your body,
Absolutely.
So take a nap. Yeah.
And I think that like on
Yeah.
that, um, I saw another Instagram mom. Um, she was talking about, and I can't remember, I'll have to tag her. But she was talking about how she was dealing with that same thing, and she was dealing with some major like guilt of, okay, I only feel 80%. And so I hate feel like I feel this guilt of like, I'm only giving my 80%. She's like, but one thing that I realized was my 80% means that I'm giving another like 20% to growing this human. Like like, even if I'm feeling like a 20%, I'm still giving that 80% of growing a human. Like your body is constantly working.
Yeah.
So you have to remember that
Work.
even when you're resting, like you're growing a person and you're
Yeah,
growing a
that's
foot
right.
and,
Yeah.
and an organ and a this and a that. And like your body's tired and it's
Right.
comparable to running a marathon for 40 weeks. And that's something that like
Yeah. Right.
I don't think that we get enough credit for in society or we talk about enough is like your body is fully depleted. Like we're just like, yeah, but women are biologically meant to do that. And that's just kind of what we do. And yes, absolutely. But I think it just becomes extremely forgotten. And then I have struggled with guilt myself. Like, why am I so tired? Why can't I handle this? Like people go through this all the time. Like it shouldn't be. I'm not melting. I'm just pregnant. And it's like, no, it's really hard on your body. It takes everything from you. And it's okay to be tired and it's okay to give yourself
Yes.
grace.
Yes, and also like share these things with your spouse. I mean, if I, tell my husband how ridiculous, it sounds when I'm saying it, how, I just don't look the same and the house is a mess and this and that. And he's just laughs at me and is like, everything's fine, mama. You've done this like 9 times. It's okay. We're good. But tell your partner how you're feeling and also find humor in it because in the moment it's real, but it is hilarious, really. If you
Yes.
think of the things that we have gotten worked up over while we're pregnant, can you relate like things
Can I
that feel
relate?
really big that are not big? Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm preparing my checklists for my newborns, like I mean for my toddlers to go have a baby to hand off to my husband. And he's like, you act like I am not around them every day. Like the things that I'm obsessing over is just he's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I need to nest. Just leave me alone. I just need to feel in control because I don't have control of
Cut
anything
after
else.
food. He's like, yeah, I know. Yeah.
He's like, I have to feed them, don't I?
Right.
But I just
But it makes
the
me
things
feel better. And
like
yeah,
the fridge being disorganized gives me
yes,
sheer anxiety now. Whereas
I know it
before
feels
I can
big.
handle
Yeah.
it, but it just gives me
Right.
off the wall. Like I just can't handle it right now.
It is.
Oh,
And we're blessed that we have spouses that can also find humor and know that this is temporary and their wives are going to return to normal again and not, you know,
yes,
be like emotional and ridiculous about little things.
absolutely. And he's so
Yes.
great because Rob really has found the patience. He didn't have it too much with Kaya, our first pregnancy, because it was all new. And then he got a little bit
Yeah.
more patient with Cashin. And now with this one, he's just like he knows what to expect. So he just avoids the landmines of like what really
Yeah.
triggers me. he just he just can read
No.
the room if I'm too tired. He's like, let's get takeout for dinner. Or well, how about I stop at the store for you? He just knows.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just am so tired and I'm trying to push myself because I feel bad that I can't take care of him the way that I normally would. So he just kind of takes the reins for me, which is really
Yes.
nice. And I
That
don't give
actually
him
is
enough
something
credit.
that I just remembered when you said that it's so funny how soon you forget, but that is something I always feel like mom wife guilt about at the end of pregnancy is that I do feel like I'm like not doing enough or not, because I know how I was before and now here I am just not who I recognize myself, to be. And I always feel guilt about that, but nobody cares or notices
Right.
except me. So
Absolutely.
that's just something to keep in mind as well. So this will be a podcast episode that I should watch later on, like in
Yeah,
6 months. Oh
I'm gonna look back, hopefully being like, "Oof, I don't look as tired anymore." But
yeah. Well, and that's another thing. Whenever I'm pregnant, I never realize how not like myself I actually feel until after I'm past the blur phase of newborns, because
yes,
you feel like you're you, like you feel like, okay, this is just me. But then after you're pregnant and the newborn fog kind of clears, like maybe around 3 4 months, maybe longer, I don't know. But you're like, oh, there I am. And all of a sudden your energy and your creativity comes back and you're like, let's, we're going. And
yep.
you're like, well, I just really didn't feel like myself for like over a year.
Yeah. Isn't that just so crazy? And they call it getting your pink back, because it's like flamingos lose all of their color when they are giving birth to their baby, and then when they're ready to like be themselves again, they get their pink back. I think that that's what it is. That's where it comes from. So it's like so
no, you're
cute.
Right. Yeah.
So I definitely
cool. Yeah,
feel I can see a shift. One thing that I try to do during pregnancy, and I did better at it this one, is I try to treat it like the time to be healthiest. So I go like all natural skincare. So I try to get my skin like glowing, like things that typically bother me. I know that sounds vain, but I try to do like all natural hair treatments, all natural skincare, like things I try to make fun for my self-care that I know will help me longer. So I may feel uglier now. Like I used to have acrylics all the time. And I decided that I didn't want to do that anymore, because bringing 2 toddlers to a nail salon while pregnant doesn't work. So I took this pregnancy and I just used like these all natural like oils on my nails for them to grow longer and stronger. And I took the time that I felt ugly to like do a thing that I would normally feel like I just piled it on. I don't know. It's kind of
I love that. No, I get it. And it does make you feel better. And it does help with your sanity, because you did something little for yourself that didn't take away from your kids, didn't take time or money or energy. But it does make you feel better, put some lipstick on or do your nails, I get it. I totally get it. I think that's all good. One other thing I have found that helps when I'm pregnant and also when I'm not is just taking an intentional, like quiet time throughout the middle of the day where, my other kids are resting or playing quietly. And that's my time to either rest or, do a devotional, read the Bible, watch something inspirational, just do something that you feel like recharges your battery, and just take that time, even if it's like 30 minutes to an hour. And that way you're ready to take on the rest of the day. But I feel like during pregnancy, especially, I need that for my sanity, is to just, have that quiet time.
Absolutely. And to because I feel like especially when I'm pregnant with the young toddlers that I have, and wanting to take care of my husband and battling the guilt of feeling totally different and not like myself, I'm giving literally everything, emotionally, physically, like everything just of myself away. So it is good to take those times and the quiet times to reset, adjust your mindset to like really approach things from a place of gratitude. And like, I like that devotional time, meditation time, things that just make you feel more connected to yourself and your spirituality is important.
It's not selfish at all. It's just essential. Like it really is.
Well, yes, because you don't want resentment to build up. And that was another thing that I wanted to talk about with keeping your sanity, is setting boundaries appropriately. Because like for me, what I've learned is, before I used to, you get a surprise.
He lost a tooth.
Oh, how awesome.
Right? He's coming.
Yay! I can't wait to hear about what's your tooth fairy tradition and stuff. We should do a podcast.
I'd love to talk about all that.
Yeah. Because I haven't done that yet. So I want to know, like, how much does
it fill you in on how we do it?
Yeah, I want to know, how much does he get? Is he out buying stocks with it? No, so I think because what I did wrong, well, I was all right, but I started off pretty rocky. Is I wasn't setting boundaries with when I was pregnant with Kaya.
Mhm.
And I started to get myself really, really, really stressed out because I was trying to please everybody. And then I finally, my husband actually was the one that looked at me and said, "You need to calm down. Nobody cares. They're trying to take care of you. You don't need to people please anybody." And because I would get invites to go out to dinner, but I was too tired. I would get invites to go to a certain party or event. Other people's lives don't stop because you're pregnant and you're tired.
Yes.
So if you don't feel comfortable or like yourself, or it's too hard for you to like get dressed because it's summer and you're 8 months pregnant and you just don't want to go, like
Right.
just it's okay to say that,
Okay.
so long as like you are on the same page as your husband. I think that
Yeah.
that's like critical to just let people know up front, like, hey, this isn't a reflection of you. I'm just really not feeling good and I need to take care of myself. And it's okay to set that boundary and say, I need to sleep when I can. I just really don't feel up to it. I don't have the capacity for that right now. And being able to say
Absolutely.
no, no is a complete sentence, and that's all right. And if people push, then that's on them and you don't have to feel bad about it. It's a reflection of them. Like that's kind of how I have started to look at it too. And it's made things a lot easier for me. It's just
That is really good.
getting comfortable with no.
And anyone who has ever been pregnant understands that, and they should respect that answer to any event. I mean,
Yeah.
they should be like, "Oh yeah, I get it." One of my favorite um, thoughts about saying no to things is that when you say no to something, no matter what it is, you're saying yes to something else every time.
Yeah. I love
And
that.
sometimes when you say no, isn't that good? When you say no to, an event that makes you uncomfortable, you're saying yes to maybe taking care of yourself, taking care of your sanity while you're pregnant. And sometimes saying no to things is a very healthy thing to do. And it's hard to do. I used to say yes to everything too. But maybe it's an age thing or a number of children thing too. But I am very much okay to say no to things these days, and people
How do
respect it
you,
and they're okay with it.
yeah. And they'll learn to respect it even more the more you do it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
how has your like how do you and Lucas manage your pregnancies, because you do have so many kids, and I know when you're first, like at least for me when I was first pregnant, my Robert worked 2 hours away. So him making it to every baby appointment just wasn't going to happen. And I had to get
Yeah.
comfortable with that and okay with that and like make sure check myself internally to not build resentment and like feel mad at him for that, because it just logistically wasn't going to work. And once I got comfortable with that, it was a lot better for our relationship. Same thing, like he needed to go to business meetings at night. He had business dinners. He would be home at a reasonable hour, but I needed to be okay being alone because I couldn't make it. I knew I needed to know myself enough to know that I wouldn't be presenting me and my family in an appropriate way. Like I wouldn't be as engaging. I wouldn't feel comfortable. I'd be sitting in the corner tired.
Yeah.
He'd be focused on me. So it was just better for him to go and me be okay being at home by myself. Like, what are certain things that you and Lucas do like that has helped our relationship, for me, knowing myself and him and I having that communication together? How do you guys approach it?
That is good. So that's interesting because so most people that have watched this from my page know what my husband does, but my husband is a neurosurgeon. And so before this, he was in residency, and I think he's made it to like literally a handful of baby appointments throughout all 9 pregnancies, 10 pregnancies now. But it's not something that I have issues with, because it's not that his heart doesn't want to be there.
Right.
It's that his, um, he physically can't be there because he's providing for our family, so it's not like
Yeah.
he could be there, but he's staying at home sleeping or he has better things to do. It's not like that at all. Then I might have, little issues with it, but it's that he's working, and it's just something that has been in our relationship the whole time. And so I never think anything else of it. But whenever he has been there, of course, he is excited and he's all present. But I just, go to the appointments and update him in the evenings, or I'll text him pictures of the ultrasounds and go right back. And, we go back and forth talking about the baby through messages. But I'm also thankful that our pregnancies have all been very textbook, no issues. I don't feel sick. I have very easy pregnancies, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah.
And so, as far as like things that he can do to help me, especially during doctor's appointments, there's really nothing he can do. So I don't. I'd rather him be at work than sitting there with me. He can't do anything at the doctor's
Yeah.
appointment
And it
anyway.
gets a little,
He has made it to the delivery, so that's good.
hey, there you go. That's all that's necessary.
But that's actually funny because there have been several. Like if I could count them if I had to, but I feel like at least four where he is working in the mornings and I'm being induced, and that my doctor is in contact with him, knowing what he's doing at that time. Like, okay, so he's in surgery right now. Okay, is he closing yet? All right, they're about to close. Okay, go ahead and break her water because he should be up here in about 30 minutes.
Wow.
And then the baby shouldn't be out then. Like they're planning this together. And I'm just sitting there like, la la la. And then he walks in, and sometimes the baby, yeah. Well, one time he was in clinic and he was seeing patients in the morning, and he's like, he called me and is like, oh, should I go ahead and head up to the hospital? And I was like, no, I'm fine. Just, keep seeing your patients. It's fine. And he's like, well, I'm going to call your doctor to make sure. And he's like, okay, I'm on my way up because you are at 7 centimeters and I know how this goes. You're probably going to have a baby in about 30 minutes. And so in that situation, it was Rozzy. He decided to cancel a few patients that day, and he came straight up to the hospital, and she was born within about 10 minutes after he got there.
Wow.
So I was glad that he overrode my decision.
Yeah.
But how I deal with that's how I deal with the hospital and the doctor part of it. But as far as the home part, because he is, gone a lot being in his profession, or on call sometimes, is when he is home, if I am tired, I am like, I will say I'm taking a nap, or I'm going upstairs, and he's more than happy to like man the kitchen and stay downstairs with the little kids when he's home. That's kind of how we do that. But
yeah,
I try to just do as much as I can on my own. And I don't resent that at all. Like when I'm in the waiting room by myself and there's all the other couples in there. It's just unique to our situation. They might be looking at me and thinking I'm, whatever.
I had one lady come up to me.
I'm just secure in that. And it's our normal.
Yeah. I had one lady come up to me and say, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that, you're always alone. And I'm like, I don't know who said I'm always alone. I'm fine. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Don't feel sorry for me. I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah. But then it puts ideas in your head though. You're right. I mean, if you were, having a rough time, that could make you start thinking of things like maybe I should have an issue with maybe, and when you're pregnant, sometimes you run away with these thoughts.
Yes.
And so
absolutely.
Yeah.
But thankfully I've been able to we just made the agreement that that's just how it was going to be. And so I just kind of made that across a blanket kind of rule for me, just for me. And the way that I operate is I always invite and I never obligate with anything that has to do with the kids and my husband, because he works odd hours sometimes and there's things that need to be done. And, we have a division of labor. And so being okay with, I'm inviting you to this. He's always invited. He always knows where I am, what we're doing, but I don't obligate him because then that's just frustration for me, and he wants to.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the way you said it.
Yeah.
His heart is there. I know that. We're texting the whole time. I'm sending pictures. We're talking the whole time. But so that's another way to maintain sanity, because I've had girlfriends that have had issues. They've had hard times, with wanting their husbands at every appointment, and it's not feasible sometimes. So I didn't know.
Yep. Exactly. No, it's a unique situation for both of us. And I know other women out there have husbands who aren't able to make it to their doctor's appointments. And so I'm hoping that that's helpful for them too, because, I could see how it could be hard, especially if it was, a first pregnancy or something that like maybe they were at other appointments and then their jobs changed or situations changed and now they're not able to be there. And that could be a hard dynamic. So I think you and I handle it healthy and in a positive way. So I hope that helps people.
Yeah, me too.
Are there any other tips that you would give a new mom in any of the trimesters during pregnancy about just maintaining their sanity? And what would you tell them?
For me, um, okay, this is gonna sound very vain, but
It's okay.
buy yourself some bras, okay, that are like nursing bras that don't have like the wire so you can
No
feel
wire.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Buy yourself some pretty dresses that make you feel comfortable that you can wear after you're pregnant because your body will still look pregnant for a little while, especially the more babies you have. Like it doesn't maybe your body's like amazing, but for me, my body type, it doesn't. And I was really sad that I didn't fit in my jeans at my 6 week appointment. I was so bummed. I was
Right.
so depressed. And it's just that's I went out and I bought like even like bigger jeans in the hopes that I could wear jeans because you go so long. So buy yourself some really cute leggings, some pretty dresses, and biker shorts because your thighs are gonna rub together and it's gonna hurt. Do the things that just make you feel prettier and like more yourself and comfortable and like don't be upset about it. And get one of those. Do you use Bellybands?
I love Bellybands.
Okay. Because I didn't my first pregnancy. I couldn't find
I actually start wearing them right around now. I mean, I'm like 6 weeks pregnant, so barely pregnant right now, but my waist is definitely getting larger already. And so what a Bellaband is, you can call them belly band, Bellaband, whatever.
Yeah.
It's literally just a band that goes around your pants so that you can unbutton your jeans, wear this band over it, and it looks like a long t-shirt, or it just kind of looks like you know, a piece of, cloth that like a layering tee. And so you can wear your normal shirts over it or whatever. So you can wear your jeans or pants longer. I love belt bands before and after, like during and after pregnancy.
The hair rubber band trick. Did you
do
that?
I do.
You loop it through your jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tie it to the button. Yes, like a hair tie.
Yep.
That will also allow you to wear jeans a little bit longer. But you know what? I don't even wear jeans much when I'm pregnant. They do look cute, but they are not comfortable unless
they really
are the maternity kinds with the stretchy
I
belly.
hated those because they would always fall. Do you have a good brand that you like? Because mine, I never liked that the material was wrong. Or do you have a brand that you like?
I have quite a collection of maternity clothes. I can't think of a brand now, but
you're gonna have to show us.
I will. I link everything. I usually have a highlight on my Instagram. Maternity.
Yeah.
I link all of it. But yeah, comfort is so huge. That is a great recommendation for maintaining sanity and just advice for being pregnant. It's just, be comfortable, be cute a little bit. It will help your mental state, but be comfortable.
Another thing I would say, go ahead. Sorry.
Hey, go ahead.
Another thing
I would say.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. Oh, buddy. I make a mental note. Edit this part out. Got it.
At least we're super polite about it, though. It'd be a funny blooper. We're like, no, you go. True. Okay, yes, please.
Oh my gosh. Finish your thought and then I'll close it.
Let me just fix my hair since we're editing this out. I'll make it really easy for you. Oh my gosh. No, you go. Oh yes, excuse me. No, go ahead. Oh yes, no.
Where are we eating at? I don't care. You decide. No, you decide.
No, you go. No, you. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. What I started doing was I would write letters to my kids because it was a way for me to like help connect with the baby when I was first pregnant. And then I would just like keep writing them letters. And now I do it.
You would handwrite them.
Months. I would handwrite them. And I have an email address for each one of them. And so like anytime I have like a cute picture or a cute memory that I just think of, I email it to them. And it's just like a fun
I
way.
love that.
And I included Rob on all of those. So it was a fun way for us to connect. And then I would take those kind of memories and letters and I would write like little milestone group text messages to my extended family because my family lives in California and I'm in Florida. So as a way to like keep them included and to like avoid them feeling like they weren't a part of the baby's life, I just would send like 3 or 4 pictures once a month once the baby was born. And then every doctor update, I would send them a picture of the ultrasound and like tell them what was going on. And it was just a
Yeah,
way
I
for
love
them
that.
to like participate and
Sharing the
not,
excitement. Yeah.
yeah. And then I don't feel bad when I'm like, no, I don't want visitors for the first 3, 4 weeks after having the baby, or
Yeah.
no, I'm okay. I don't want anybody over, honestly, or I don't want to go to dinner. At least I'm including them in this. Like I'm not antisocial. I
Yep.
just don't feel good physically, but you know,
Yep. Yep.
um,
Makes sense.
so those are kind of like the things that I liked doing or like doing. I don't know. What about you?
I think those are great ideas. Well, the only other thing I was going to add is just to keep that at the forefront of your mind that this is temporary. The way you feel right now is not forever. You will return to your pre-baby state physically, mentally, emotionally. You're going to have energy again. You're going to feel creative. Um, you're going to have, just you're going to be able to do the things that you did before you were pregnant. And sometimes pregnancy just feels so long, and especially that last trimester, not even the last trimester, the last month. Like for me, the last like 4 weeks are so long because I think mentally, I think, all right, baby is full term. We're 37 weeks. We're good, but there's still 3 more weeks. And if the baby is overdue, there might be a whole other month. And so just keep at the forefront of your mind that this is temporary. You are doing extremely important work. You're growing a baby, and that is so incredibly special and important and beautiful. And the weird thing is as uncomfortable as you are in the last month of pregnancy, when the baby's born, you're going to kind of miss those kicks and you're going to
Oh my
miss being
God.
pregnant a little bit. Maybe not the
Absolutely.
last month, but you'll think of like the second trimester part and you're like, oh, I just missed that.
Well, and the pregnancy
Yeah.
excuse. I
Yeah.
I
Right.
miss it right away.
The setting the bowl of ice cream on your belly and just eating it. You're like, I want that again.
Yes.
That's funny.
I want to be
But just
able
to
to
keep
be
that, I
emotional
know,
or
right?
take a random nap.
Right, exactly. And you can still use that excuse. I mean, you do have a newborn, after that. So you can still take the naps and you do need extra calories for breastfeeding. So you can still have that extra bowl of ice cream. But I don't know. I just think giving yourself grace and reminding yourself like you are doing important work and you will feel like yourself again. So,
Absolutely.
and
Yes.
I am proof, and you are proof too, that you're going to feel so normal that you're going to want to do that again 10 times. Maybe not 10 times.
I'm good.
Right. Also in your like last month of pregnancy.
Robert's already
In 6
planning our
months.
next one.
Yeah.
He's already like, no, we'll go away. We'll do our trip next year. And then, we'll have one more. I'm like, we will we?
Easy for him to say, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I hope this podcast episode was beneficial to new mamas or moms that are about to be pregnant or have been pregnant or are pregnant. And I just hope that these tips help you. And
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun for the moms that follow our podcast to see our journey as you have your sweet baby and as I progress in this pregnancy and get bigger and bigger and bigger and go through all the trimesters with
Yes,
you guys. So, yeah.
absolutely.
All right. Hope you enjoyed our episode. Bye.